Hey guys, ILene Vick here for Teaching Adult Coloring with ILene Vick. It is Friday, October 6th at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, and I am live. It is week 40 of 2023, and in my neck of the woods it is currently 65 degrees with a high of 73 and a low of 54. Welcome, welcome, welcome to my broadcast. I'm here for the next 3 hours for coloring, companionship, chat, friendship, giggles and laughs, pretty pictures. We have a lot of fun. Learning, of course. Welcome to my YouTube peeps who come in and chat with me. That's always fun. Hi, Sandy. And welcome to my Facebook peeps who will see this broadcast when I download it into my Facebook group, Teaching Adult Coloring with ILene Vick. Now, if you watch me on YouTube, I suggest you also join my Facebook group because that's where I give away my freebies for you guys to color. And speaking of freebies, this is a duet. That's always the first segment of my broadcast. And that means that you get the piece that I'm coloring on. We color it together, which I strongly suggest that you pace me so that you learn the methods and techniques that I'm using. And that way it gives you a continuous growth in your coloring journey. You're not stuck in one mode. So we're working on this. This is from my book, Mostly Tall Ships Jubilee. Hold on, I think I got it. Yeah, I do. This is the book. The majority of it is tall ships. But there's a couple pictures in there. Here's a neat little mandala. But there are images in here, like the one we're doing, of sailboats. So yeah. Anyway, so that's the book if you're interested. And that's what we're working on. Or out of, I should say. Hi, Linda. Hi, Michelle. Hi, Wally. And then the next image that I've got is I've just got a little bit more to do on this piece here. Just a couple minor things that I wanted to wrap up. And I'm going to be starting a new image tonight, which is this one. And that is out of the book, Best Dressed Pets. Beautiful, beautiful little book. This is a creative haven, but the artist is Marjorie Sarnett. So it's pretty cute. Hi, Eileen, says Wally and Michelle. All right, I'm waving to you. All righty. So let's go ahead and get going on this. I've been having a lot of fun showing it to you. Excuse me while I reach. This one I think has been coming along beautifully. There you go. I got waves back. Thank you, Linda. So, Linda, I have a question for you. When Michelle was young, did she have a hard time spelling her last name, Hirschenroder? My gosh, that's 4 cylinders. Hirschenroder. Did she have a hard time spelling her name? That's a really great way to learn your alphabet, huh? Okay, so let me unbundle my pencils. And the last that we were at doing this is we were working on the villa itself. And by the way, the name of this piece is called Sandy's Villa, or Villa Sandy, if you want to put it that way. I'll bet you it's a great way, her last name was a great way for her to learn her alphabet, huh? Okay, so let's keep going on this. And I'm going to get a light blue. And I'm going to start coloring in this sky. Now notice that I'm staying on this gray here. Let me pull in. And we need to get this as smooth as possible. Michelle, do you still like this picture? I don't know if I asked Michelle if she liked it. So funny story about that. We only taught her how to spell Michelle, and out of the blue she continued to spell Herschenroder by herself. Excellent. She had to have just heard me on the phone making doctor's appointments. Oh, that must be a fun. Oh, that is so cool. Good for you, Michelle. Now, let me back up a minute here. There are some gaps in these trees. So we need to pick those up as well. And don't forget to roll your pencil, right? Turn your pencil when you're coloring. All right, let me back up. Looba-dooba-doo, so glad to see you. Looba-dooba-doo, so glad you're here. Looba-dooba-doo, how are you tonight? Good to see you, sweetie. Luba, let me show you what we're working on. Although you may have already seen it. Check it out. Always good when you hear me singing. Oh, thank you, Luba. Yes, this is one of my pictures. This is the duet is always from my pictures. This is from Mostly Tall Ships Jubilee. So yes, ma'am. Happy Friday, happy Friday, happy Friday, happy Friday to one and all, says Maggie. Maggie likes to sing her way into the room. Maggie, you didn't miss too much. I'm just putting a turquoise, a light blue. What is this? This is the Brett Funner 079. On our sky. Okay. She can't relay what she has read, though, The Mystery of Autism. Gotcha. Okay, so let's get these little speckly areas here. It's going to make quite the difference when we're doing this. Yeah, Maggie, you have some of the same with Allie. Luba, tell us something fun that's going on in your life. I see that you and Luke have been going out and going different places. I see your posts on Facebook. Okay. I am off for 4 days. Oh, there you go. Are you and Luke taking advantage of that? All right, let me sharpen. So it was a Christmas gift from your mom, one night in a beautiful hotel with spa, and the food was so good. Oh, that's wonderful. So I hope that you and Luke got to spend some quality time together. Hi, Blossom. Maggie and Blossom, the only thing that you missed is me starting the blue in the sky. Oh yes, for sure. You can't tell me everything, or you or I will turn red. You go, girl. Good for you. I'm glad that you guys had a lot of fun. Now, we've got a weird little cloud line here. I'm not going to do anything with it right now. That'll be something I do in the next step. But seriously, says Luba, it was awesome. Oh, so happy for the two of you. I'll tell you what, I wish we had some more fellas in the group. But of course, adult coloring is predominantly women. Okay. So we're going to fill up our little crevices here. Let me pull out in a second here. Who's coloring with me tonight? Isn't that gorgeous? Okay. Blossom, you're getting out your pencils to color the harvest picture. Okay. I've got a little bit left that I'm going to be doing on that. I'm 98% done. And then I'm starting a new picture. Blossom, you just finished up dinner here, so I'm a bit behind. No problems. So if you're not coloring this tonight, what are you coloring? I don't know about you, but this is just turning out to be so gorgeous. All right. Now, when you're coloring something like this sky, relax with your pencils. And by that, I mean, yes, we're filling in areas here in between other colors, but you don't want to be so rigid with it that it looks like that you're just spot coloring. You're not. One of the things I enjoy about coloring is that it allows you to become one with the picture. And by that I mean you lose thought about anything that's going around you. That's the neat thing about coloring, is it pulls you away from worldly distractions. And you need to be careful that you, especially around these clouds, is that you make sure that you have a soft overlap with the white. Now, if you can't color tonight for some reason, some people have issues with their hands, or whatever the case may be, then be our talk person. Okay. Now, see this little area here? We've got some blue. In between these branches. All right. Luba, are you working on any major, oh, I know what I was going to ask you, Luba. How did your friends like their portraits that you did for them? Excuse me. Oh man, this is so pretty. Now, if your cloud looks a little wonky, like right here, I'm going to round that up. Oh, he was so happy with it. If you have a little area that's weird, reshape it. Okay. Oh, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Let me pull out. Isn't that gorgeous? Now I've got one little thing on Villa Sandy that I haven't colored in. It's these flowers down here. And I will get back to that maybe tonight. Oh, the flowers and the roof. So yeah, I'm planning on getting back to that. Okay. Now, I'm going to get my Sharpies out. Black, I have a fine point and I have an ultra fine point. And what we're going to do is, or what I'm going to do is I'm going to use it to darken the tree branches. And that's going to give us a really nice contrast between our sky. Now, any area that has a jagged line, on the edges, we need to smooth that out. Now, there's a light area right here. See it? Don't color that in with your marker. Now, if you don't have markers, use a black pencil. Excuse me. See how I'm avoiding that area right there? Now, I made a little bit of a boo-boo here. Thank God for electric erasers. Is I colored this one area in turquoise of the branch. If you haven't colored it in, don't color it in. If you have colored it in per my direction, erase it. My oopsie. Now, I want you to notice there are some lighter gray areas here. I'm not going to color those in black. Let me stop with the black a moment, and I'm going to get a medium brown, medium to a light brown, because remember, when you're adding pencil to grayscale, it gets darker. And I'm going to take brown and we're going to add that to the branch. That's the area I oopsied with my blue. And this area back here, where there's a little gap that I told you to leave, I'm going to put a little brown in there as well. And then I'm going to color right over the black Sharpie marker with my brown. And what that's going to do is that's going to lighten that black and give it a slight brownish tint. And that is exactly what I want. I got a little round thing here. We're going to get rid of, see if we can get rid of that. And any area where we have this lighter gray, we're going to put in some brown. This is why I strongly suggest that you guys pace me, because these are the little techniques that I want to show you. Now let me pull out and show you what's happening with this. Because we've put the brown up in the tree, it catches the brown that's in the main picture. And that really pulls everything together. See that? That's what I wanted you to pick up, the concept that I wanted you to pick up from doing this. The second that we put that brown into that tree, that brought everything in the rest of the picture to life. Because over here we had a clump of brown, but when I added it here, it just popped it. Okay. Let me go back to my black. And I'm putting a little bit of black on the underside of that brown on a few of the branches. Up here, I'm just putting it up on top. See how I'm edging some of these branches with the black? There will be brown in the boat, but not the exact color that I've got here. Okay, notice how I'm just putting in touches of black on that brown. But I don't want to go out any further than that, really, because of the thinness of the branch. Now, when you put your black in, you want to get rid of any pixelated edges. Where the blue is, smooth it out. And look how beautiful that tree is looking because I'm enhancing the black. You've seen me do this before with printing. Even though the black is already on the page, I like to enhance it and it makes it look richer. And it doesn't take long to do it all, really. Again, we want to smooth out our areas around our blue. Am I close enough for everybody to see here? If you don't have a black Sharpie, use a black pencil or use a black pen. Okay, I've got a little bit of a ragged line here. See it? We need to smooth that out. All right. I'm just smoothing that out on the tower. Sharpie pencil or a black pen. Okay. Now, our green color pen, P-E-N, yep. Our green color that we used on our bushes here, I'm going to pull that up into the tree as well. Now, I want you to notice that there's a darker portion here and a lighter green. So we've got two greens that we're going to be working here. Oh, Luba, I don't know why you're apologizing. Quit. Stop, stop, stop. I don't want anyone ever to apologize for asking a question. If I need to repeat something, I will gladly repeat it. And then I've got people that are helpful like Blossom that spelled it out for me. Thank you, Blossom. That was perfect. Okay, now be careful when you're putting in your darker green because we've got some patches here of the lighter. So in other words, don't just color your bottom part. See, this is why I'm so proud of this group, because we're gaining a reputation for being very helpful. Okay, so there's our green, our darker green. And that's why, excuse my arm, that's why I don't want anybody to hesitate if they feel somebody isn't understanding or needs some help. Okay, here's my lighter green. See it? Now, I'm going to remind you again that this is a watercolor type painting. And that's why on the original, the colors are not blended. But see, that's the charm of the piece. We've seen this type of coloring in museums. Sorry, I was off camera. So either with watercolor or oil, the artist that's using paint can't blend like we can with pencil. But I don't want to blend it. I want to keep the charm of this. I like the splotchiness. Got to touch up a little black that got covered. So I really can't sing my blending, 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 rawhide. We can't do that on this picture. Okay, let me pull out. Let me sharpen my green right here. Okay, now look what's happened. Do you see it? Same with the brown. As soon as I put that green in, that pulled everything together into a nice cohesive picture. See it? Now, the last thing I'm going to do with the sky is I'm going to grab my white and I'm going to edge my clouds a little bit with my white. Now, the reason that I'm doing that is because I want to soften them up. So I'm softening up the border between the blue and the white. So we don't want a harsh line between the two. Kind of like putting a halo effect on it. So I'm making sure that my aqua here is filled in the way I want, and then I'm coming back and putting that white around my clouds a little bit. See how it's making them softer? Now, it's not getting rid of the line between the two colors like you're used to seeing. It's just softening it up a little bit. That's why I keep going on and on about the type of image this is. It's a painting. Got a little white on my tower. Now notice right here, I'm going right over my blue. I'm doing the same thing right here. Now, I don't know if you can see the difference on camera. I can see it here. See how these look a little more, gosh, what's the word I want? Blended, smeared a little. Maybe that's the word. But these look harsher over here. Okay, different white pencil. This one's being obnoxious. Make sure when you go to use your white pencil that you wipe it off on your paper towel first, because it picks up the color of your image. I'm also going over my other cloud cover here. And don't forget to, what? Turn your pencil. Oh, how pretty is this? Now, this line here, we'll see if I can get rid of that. For the most part. And yeah, Luba, I know that you know what a pen is. I knew that you didn't quite hear me. Okay. Oh, good. You don't see that line? Good. Good, 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 good. I'm just using my blue and coming in and darkening that a little bit. Now, notice how softer these clouds look, even though we have specific spots of white. And I also want you to notice that I'm using my white over some of these spots here. Okay, Luba says, ILene, I know you colors so different things and styles, vintage painting, library grayscale, animals, architecture, and more, but tell me what's really what you, oh, prefer? Oh, gosh. I like it all. Okay, notice that I'm using my white up in my blue here just to soften it a little bit. Luba, the fact that I author my own books, coloring books, obviously that's where I try to publish what I think people want. And when I do that, then I pick the pictures. I pick the pictures that I would want to color within that topic. Yes, Sandy, I'll zoom out. All right, here's where we are. I think if I had to pick a category, I think that vintage, I really enjoy vintage pictures. I don't pick, I'm just blurring my white right here, down here. Anything in any of my books, I would enjoy coloring. But I do like the Victorian vintage pictures. What do you guys think so far? Isn't that drop dead gorgeous? Okay. But the interesting thing is, if you give me a topic for a coloring book, then I will pick out pictures, obviously, that I think you're going to like, but that I like as well. That's why I'm constantly asking you, what kind of pictures do you like? Do you enjoy what I'm coloring? I need that feedback. Okay. Let's get our flowers done, and let's see if I can get this roof done. White pencil. Just to brighten up these flowers a little bit. And then I'm going to add a little touch of light green, and dark green around the edges. Because our flowers have leaves, right? That's not the right green. Hold on. There we go. So, we need to put some touches of green around this. And if you look, you will see that the grayscale is a little bit darker around the flower itself. Now, I've got a little bit of brown here that I missed. On the house, so we need to go ahead and define that. So we're putting our darker green on here. And then we're going to come in with a what? A lighter green. Just a little bit. Back to my darker green here. I just want to define this a little more. Don't get carried away with your lighter green. You just want a little touch of it. And then I'm going to take my question was just because I'm curious. I don't really like coloring flowers even if the pictures are gorgeous. I love doing different things, but portraits is what I prefer. Okay, Luba. If you want to grow as an artist, you need to be willing to color different things. And I know that you prefer portraits. Okay, now I'm going to take some black and I'm going to define a few centers of these flowers. I know that you prefer portraits, but if you only stick to that, you won't get better in other areas. Okay, good. So what I would recommend is do some more flowers. Okay, Now I'm going to take a lighter gold color. You try. Oh, yeah. So I've got this lighter beige gold. This is the same area where we outlined in the brown, and I told you to carry the brown onto the lighter color a little bit so we would see it. Everybody remember that? Oh, Larry thinks this is really pretty, really nice. Thank you, Larry. And guys, I want you to think about what Larry just said. This picture is bringing pleasure to Larry. Notice how I'm taking the brown and I'm streaking a little bit on my lighter brown that I just put in. See that? So by doing this picture, you are bringing pleasure to other people. Oh, let's see here. This center area needs to be a darker brown. I missed it. With a little light part in the center. So Larry just brought home what I try to tell you guys, or what I do tell you guys. When your picture brings pleasure to somebody else, you've done your job. So there's our lighter brown. And we'll bring in some darker brown to give that some character. Now, I don't like that circle right there. I'm going to color that in. And for that matter, I don't like this jutting out of this roof. I'm going to get rid of it. Artistic inspiration, guys. See that? That looked wonky to me. Gone. Okay. Sandy, what do you think? What do you think of Villa Sandy so far? All right, so there's our light brown. A little bit of darker brown. And I'm going to carry this darker brown over to what I basically made, let's see, part of the trees. I don't like how that looks, so I'm going to use my darker brown and I'm going to make it into part of the roof. Sandy says she loves. And that little splotch underneath, I'm going to get rid of that too. We are gods. Oh, think about it, guys. We're gods. Pictures live and die by our hand. And I get rid of that little spot here. Okay, let me pull out. Zip. Villa Sandy looks absolutely beautiful. Blending stump. Don't overblend. Now remember, we're going to come back and we're going to do a little detail, mostly shading. I did a little bit of shading on this part of the wall right here. And I added some texture to it. So we're calling this a DDG, Drop Dead Gorgeous. Luba, what do you think? And the reason that I keep telling you guys to pace me is because I want you to have the same feeling of accomplishment that I'm having in doing this for you. Does that make sense? Okay. I need to briefly go with our autumn picture here. Give me a second. I need to find something real quick If you guys will talk among yourselves for a moment. I really want to find something here. Oh, let's see here. Creek. All right, hold on. Okay. I found my little buglets. So there's two things that I want to do on this one, and then I'm going to go to my new piece. I'm still sticking to my two projects. I just want to finish this up real quick. All right, so we need to do the nose here and the eyes. So I'm just going to put in some orange. And actually, I'm thinking about changing that to black. Even better, I'm going to put a black dot in there and make an eye. And then I'm going to use my black to highlight and enhance the eyelashes. The eyebrow. And our smile. And I'm going to put a little U right here. Remember, we've got a scarecrow. Okay. Then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get my Payne's Gray. There it is. And I'm going to add some shading, excuse me, on the edges. Blossom, good night. I'm starting a new picture. You can look at it later. I hope you had fun and I hope you learned something. Now, this Payne's Gray that I'm adding is very subtle. And you know how I always tell you, you want to see the result, not the color. Oh, you were saying goodnight to Sylvie. Oh. Oh, Luba, okay. I got it. I'd stepped away. I didn't see that. Thank you, Blossom. Now, I want you to notice that I'm taking this Payne's Gray around our scarf. Looba-dooba-doo, good night to you. I know she's gone. Looba-dooba-doo, good night to you. Everybody see how this is shading and starting to look really dimensional. And then I'm going to do the same thing down here, but very, very lightly. Now, I want you to remember that every time that you put pencil to paper, you are getting a transfer of color. And what some people will do is that rather than concentrating on the effect of the pencil, they will color with the pencil until they see the color of that pencil. And that is especially critical when you're doing shading. That's the circumstance where, again, you want to see the result and not the pencil color itself. Is everybody clear on that distinction? So as I'm coloring this, I lost my thought. I don't want to see streakiness. Okay, this is the picture you're currently working on. You're just using colored pencil. That's fine, Blossom, really. Blossom, you're not feeling frustrated, are you? You shouldn't. Okay. I'm going to smooth out this lighter blue a little bit. That was where I originally put my water-based marker. And remember, I used the same marker for the top and the bottom, but I got the bottom lighter. And Blossom, perfectly okay that you're behind. You're learning, and that's what's going to happen. Okay, now I'm going to take a little bit of, what do I want? I'm going to take a little bit of white. Hold on, I got to sharpen that. There we go. Guys, listen, when you're coloring with me, don't rush to keep up with me. Okay, now I'm barely touching the paper. I'm just going to put a little bit of white on there. And I'm tending to stay near the middle. And notice how I'm immediately blending it with my finger. You're having a great time with this one. Good. Blossom, are you following my colors? Now I'm coming back with my blue because I want to narrow down this white just a little bit. Check it out. I'm working on the plants and you're choosing similar colors. Okay. Everybody see how the addition of the gray is making this top, and it made these legs more dimensional, and that pops out our piece. Now I'm going to take a touch of pink. And I'm going to edge this to give it dimension. See it? And let's do the same on this side. Just on the edge. And then I'm going to go up to the hat band. Same thing on the edges and blending it in. Boom, dimension. Depth, dimension, detail. The 3Ds. And then when you properly blend it with a one color, I'm just erasing out a little bit of this. There we go. Get a little bit of that lighter area back. You want one color what? Seamlessly disappearing into the next one. Okay, one last thing on this and then we're starting our new picture. I lied. Hold on. I'm just cleaning off these circles because of smudging. I'm going to take my pink pencil and I'm going to add a little bit of shading. On the edge. Hold on, got a hand sharpen. Okay. Now, I'm not trying to make these buttons look dimensional. In other words, I don't want them to pop out as and not being flat to the fabric, I'm just adding a little bit of a second color so that they don't look so dull. See? And sometimes I do it from the right, and sometimes I do it from the left. We're just adding a little splotch of color. And notice that the pink pencil that I'm using is very close to the pink on the outfit. And again, that's because I don't want this to look dimensional. I want it to look vibrant, not so flat, dull. Much better. So in other words, I'm just putting two colors on here. Just to make it look more interesting. I'm not trying to make any dimensional statement with it. Okay. Last thing. Look how much better that looks, guys. All right. I have these little buglets here. And I'm just going to take one or two and strategically, it may even only be one. I'll make it two. Now, I want you to notice that I place them in such a way that they're not necessarily going to be obvious right away. I've got little bumblebees, but I think that the ladybugs will be best. Now, I always tell you that when you're going to glue something to your page, these have little adhesive dots on them. Don't depend on them. So I peel those off. And the reason that I don't want you depending on them is because when you are putting your pages away in your holders, they're going to get rubbed on a little bit, and you don't want to risk them falling off. And then I'm going to take my glue, which is a simple washable Elmer's school glue. It works beautifully. And I'm going to glue that little puppy to the page. Now, I want you to notice that I'm making sure that they're not facing the same way. And I also want you to notice that I'm hiding this one on the orange leaf so that it doesn't stick out like a sore thumb. And then my second buglet, I'm putting on the border between the brown and the orange. And you can see how it somewhat disappears. That's the idea. Guys, make your pieces special. Now, this glue will dry completely clear. I'm just cleaning up a little bit around the edge. Not absolutely necessary, but that's just me. Okay, I am calling this one done. And to answer your question, yes, I will spray the Krylon right over the top of anything that I have stuck to the page. Now, I want you to notice that our blue here brings out the blue on our scarecrow, and I want you to notice that my gold brings out the colors around the decorations. I love this piece. I had such a great time doing it for you, and I hope you learned something out of it. Any questions or comments on this one before I go to my next one? Yeah, that's a good word for it, Blossom. Charming. So when I'm off camera, I'll go ahead and spray that with my Krylon. And it'll look really cool. Okay. New project. And this is the end of doing 3 projects. I will now just be doing the 2. I was doing the 2 before, but I just wanted to finish up the autumn picture. Okay, Best Dressed Pets, Creative Haven, Marjorie Sarnett. Now, I need to get a piece of paper here. What you doing, Vic? Vicky. Now I'm going to put paper behind this because I'm going to be using my alcohol markers on parts of this. Let's see, that's a good blue. Okay. Yeah, that's an adorable picture. They're dressed so dapper. Exactly. I thought this one would be a good one to do fur again. Although we did fur with our previous dog picture from my book, and it turned out beautifully. Okay. Now, remember I told you 2 things. When you take your cap off, be careful around your paper because you can get little tiny micro dots sometimes. And you also need to determine that when you go to use your alcohol marker, how much it bleeds. And once you know that, you can adjust accordingly. Now, I am barely touching the paper. It doesn't take much. Okay. Let's go to the other side. Now, when you're working with your darker color markers, you don't have to worry about streaks pretty much, especially if you're working in small areas. Just work on getting your lines as smooth as possible. Now, one thing about markers like this, if you're having problems staying inside of your lines, then move to something else on the page. Okay, so I've got some of my outlining done here. And take your time. Maggie, did you send me what I think you sent me? Okay. Okay, good. Now, if you get a little wonky with your marker, don't worry about it. It happens. And don't forget that just like with your pencil, you want to turn your marker when you do your normal lift. And that way it wears out evenly. I'll have to repeat that for Blossom when she gets back. Now, one thing I found when doing something like this in detailed areas is if you go around the background, the edges of your pattern, it's easier then to just fill in after that. And again, keep in mind how much bleed you're going to have. When that marker goes into the paper, it's going to spread a little bit. I had somebody tell me one time with their markers, they were mad because when they used them, they spread on the paper. So instead of compensating for that, they just got mad about the markers. Don't get mad at your markers, guys. You just have to adapt. Okay, this is coming. It's going to look really cool. Okay, where are we here? This is going to be absolutely gorgeous. Blossom, are you back? Guys, what are you coloring while I'm doing this? Oops, I've got one down here I didn't finish around the outside. Judy, hello. Judy, have you been watching or did you just step into the room? The reason I'm asking you is if you just stepped in, I'll show you the pictures that I've been working on tonight. These little dots are driving me crazy. Oh, you just got here. Okay. Give me a second and I'll show you what I've been working on. Now, if you have dots like this around a necklace, which are ridiculously small, like I said, you can grab a pencil and go around them instead of using the marker. I just decided I wanted to see if I could pull it off. Okay. Let me pull out. So, Judy, I finished my autumn picture. So that one's done. And I glued on 2 little wooden ladybugs. But I glued them on in such a way that it's not obvious. There's that one there on the sunflower. And here's the one on the leaf, so you can see it disappears. I just noticed a light blue spot here. Hold on. There we go. Missed a spot. And then we've been working on Sandy's, it's called Villa Sandy. And we've been having a lot of fun doing that one as well. I think it's turning out beautifully. Let me try and frame that a little better. Yeah, I love the watercolor style on this. This is why I selected this image to put in the book. And Sandy sent me a message asking me if we could color it as a duet. And so that's why we're calling it Villa Sandy. Come on, let's focus. There we go. Isn't that cool? And now I'm working on this cat picture. Judy, how's business for you? Filling more orders? Little kitty witties? Okay. All right. Check it out. Oh, ILene girl, I've been so busy. It's a good busy, but find myself chasing my tail at times. Yeah. Well, as long as you're enjoying what you're doing. Okay. Now I'm going to do the hat in the same blue. Fills in beautifully without any streaking. You're enjoying every bit of it, yep. You know, it's so sad, I think, in life that it takes people not understanding that life should be lived to be enjoyed. and people get caught up in the everyday stuff. And I understand some of it you have to, but you know what? We really need to carve out things that we enjoy. And like I said, the sad thing is people don't realize it until they're in their, what, 60s maybe, 50s or 60s. People get on this treadmill of life and don't stop to do these other things. Okay, check out how cool this is looking. Okay. We're getting there. Any question about using these markers? Blossom, did you come back yet? I was under the impression Blossom was coming back. Oh, Blossom, there you are. Yeah, do me a favor when you leave. You know, you tell me that you're leaving, and then when you come back, just tell me you're back. So, Blossom, the thing that I was saying about these markers is just like your pencil, you need to turn them, that little micro turn. When you do your normal lift when you're coloring, And that way the fibers on the tip will wear out evenly. Now notice how I'm coloring this. Grab more apple pie. French vanilla ice cream on top. Oh, is this ridiculously cute? All right, let me pull out. Oh, apple pie, French vanilla ice cream. Creak. Okay. Okay. Light blue. Around our edges here. Michelle, how do you like the cat picture? Okay, now when I do these little patches here, I'm only going to put the light blue on part of them. See how I'm just doing above the line here? And again, notice how I'm only covering half, just basically where the line is. All right, let's catch this other side. Now, you should know by now I'm not just going to leave it like that, right? I'm setting this up for a really neat effect. And then I'm going to use the same blue and I'm going to work on his vest. I'm glad she likes it. Oh, I love how this is turning out already. How beautiful is this? Enjoy the lurk while you work. That's right. Well, Judy, I'm glad you lurk while you're working. That's fun. All right, let me pull out and show you this. I've got a few more minutes. Judy, I'm glad you enjoy the companionship. That's what I'm all about. In addition to, of course, coloring. All right, so now I'm going to come in with my darker blue that I used on the smock, and I'm going to put it onto the areas where the stripes cross. Okay. Now remember, when you use marker, you're always going to use, for the most part, colored pencil with the marker. So now I'm going to take white. This is where the neat part comes in. And I'm going to color in white, a little bit of white on top of the blue. Isn't that neat? And I'm doing it very lightly. And for the most part, I'm sticking towards the middle. Doesn't that look cool? Oh, I missed a crosshatch here. There we go. Oh, I missed another one. Ah! You guys didn't tell me. Look how neat this looks, this effect looks. And Judy, I take it that you're set up in such a way that you can just glance up and see what I'm doing if something grabs your attention. Now, I want you to notice that I'm not just sticking specifically to the center. Sometimes I might go over to the side, sometimes I might angle a little bit. And this is where I always tell you, when you're doing something like this, you've got to vary the pattern of how you're doing it. I think I got everything. Now, stick with me a minute, guys. I'm back to the lady's outfit. I'm going to blur these spots on hers as well. See that? So I'm avoiding the lines as much as I can. But I'm adding white to soften that blue. Isn't that cool? Let's see if I can pull out far enough that you can see the difference here between this side and this side. See it? All right, guys. Unfortunately, I need to stop. Time flew tonight. Let me pull out. I'm falling in love with this piece already. How cute is it? Okay, guys, so tonight we worked on Best Dressed Pets. We finished Hello Autumn. Love this piece. And we got a lot done on Villa Sandy, and I showed you how to work with these clouds. I've pretty much got 3/4 of it. Do I have a pencil here? Yeah. Hold on. Oh, okay. I've got 3/4 of it pretty well put in. We're just going to need to do some shading when I get this done. Oh, Judy, you're so cute. Yeah, I can start over. Watch the video. Oh. Seriously, when this goes to video, if you're working, watch the video. Oh, Judy, you're so funny. So I hope you guys had a good time watching this. So guys, this is ILene Vick for Teaching Adult Coloring with ILene Vick. Joyous, joyous coloring. See, I answered right back at you, Judy. I'll see you tomorrow night, same time, same place. Guys, love on each other. That's what we're known for. Hopefully, Dorothy will be back soon. She's been traveling. But if she's been back, she wasn't here today because she does her Bible study on Fridays. Nice try, Judy. Take care. Boy, tonight, I'll tell you, the time just flew. I'll zero in on our little buglet here. I hope you learned something. I hope you had a good time. And again, see you tomorrow night, same time, same place. And we'll see what else trouble we can get into. Guys, please, please like this video. Take 2 seconds and hit that thumbs up. Okay, guys, take care. Love you, and you know I mean that. Bye.